We're joined today by Neil Johnson, the president of the Asian Poker Tour. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
You guys have an exciting event which is going to be coming up on, I think, the 28th of February in Taipei. How has the interest been so far ramping up to it?
Everybody's really excited about it. Taipei was a fantastic launch for our new era last year. Had absolutely record numbers for that region, and so coming back this year, we just want to get bigger and better. That's the goal of every operator everywhere. So we've added a number of tournaments to the schedule, increased our high rollers buy-ins, added in mixed games, things like that, and our early bird high rollers, which is a package we offer if you basically agree to buy into the high roller, the super high roller, the superstar, things like that. We cut a deal on the hotels with you, and all of those have already sold out, and we're still a month away. So it's absolutely looking like going to be another record-setting event in Taipei, and we're all really excited about it.
Awesome. What are the what are the actual buy-ins? What's the lowest and what's the highest?
Well, we're basically down anything from about 150 US, working all the way up to 25,000 US. Obviously, it's in TWD and local currency, but the baseline is basically for this event about 150 all the way up to 25,000.
All right. Well, I mean, that opens up the field of play to a lot of players, not only within Asia, but coming from further abroad. I know some people do the long hauls. So I do want to ask, in regards to your players, where do the majority of them come from?
All over. I mean, Southeast Asia and Asia predominantly. But I think, I'm trying to remember, I think we had the biggest one we had last year was almost 80 countries represented overall, not necessarily just the main event specifically, but for the entirety of the 10-day festival. It was almost 80 countries, I believe. And all the way, I mean, we get players from the US, from the UK, from Europe. And then most of the regions throughout Asia, Southeast Asia, and even a little bit into the Middle East area as well, with people coming over, which is really great to see, because to me, when you experience what people are putting on the ground, that's what lets you know if, oh, I want to become a regular player of this tour. Look at the party that they throw. Look at the plethora of events that they have on the schedule. As you mentioned on the buy-ins, is like, okay, well, I can play at $200 and I can go and I can be a part of it and potentially win one of those awesome trophies. But also, if I'm someone who plays 5,000 or 10,000 or something, it is worth my time and energy to come, because there's a high roller every day. So I feel like, as a high roller player, I feel like I'm supported in the schedule. As a low buy-in player, I feel like I'm supported in the schedule. So, and same with the middle. Like that's to me what we want to have, is we want the game types for everyone. We want the buy-ins for everyone, because someone deciding to come from France or from, Houston or from Peru or something, they're making a significant investment, and we want to show them the best time possible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, makes total sense. But does that then vary between the country that you're hosting the event in? Does that change the mix-up of the players which are interested?
Not so much from what I've seen. We've pretty much continued to grow. I've only been over here for a year and a half. We've pretty much been lucky enough to continue to grow everywhere we've been. And a lot of it, it's kind of, and I'm sure you know this with poker players and stuff like that, is that lots of times they don't really pay attention to the border. Where are you going? Why do I want to be there? What can I do when I'm there? What's the schedule like? Am I going to know other people? So like maybe if it's, 10 of us who all know each other in Japan or in Vietnam or Thailand or something, it's like, we'll just all go and make an excursion of it. Mm-hmm. The only time it really impinges on a poker player is, do I need a visa?
Yeah, exactly.
Country. And that's a lot of times, that was my experience previously in Europe as well, is like, oh, I just, can I go? Do I have to pay tax? Mm-hmm. If I win, stuff like those things. Those are the things that kind of hit. But most of the time, it's, do I have fun when I go to that tour? Do I have fun when I go to that country? And that's what we want everybody to do, is, have fun when they come and play with us, and have fun in all these amazing destinations that we're going to as well.
Yeah, I mean, the idea is that it's meant to be entertainment. It's always evolved out of an entertainment background. You had mentioned just now that you're relatively recent within the Asian market, but you're drawing from a large amount of experience within the Western market. Do you think that the Asian market differs greatly from the Western market, and why or why not, specifically in regards to poker, of course?
There's a little bit yes and a little bit no, just because depending on where you're at, you're always dealing with kind of the relative maturity or immaturity of the market. Poker is very mature in the United States, but that hasn't taken the edge off. You're seeing, the WPT Championship had this amazing number. The World Series continues to grow every year. So even though you would say, oh, that's a very mature market, like the players, the demand, the desire to play is still there. Whereas Europe is a little bit less mature, and then Asia is even less mature than that from a casino and poker standpoint.
Are you seeing any change in terms of the demographic of your participants? I mean, sometimes when we're watching some of these, big Las Vegas poker events, you see the grizzled veteran, you see the new upstart, you see the guy with the shiny glasses. Is the younger demographic still interested in participating in these in-person events, or are they switching more to that online side?
I would say it's probably still a little bit of both. It's the live demographic is, I mean, luckily for us, it's pretty much all the way across. We've even we managed to get in Taipei last year, got over 140 entries in our women's event, which is, it's always been one of the great questions of poker is how do you get more women to play? They make up 51% of the world's population, and they make up about 5% of the poker population. No matter where you are, that's kind of a consistent number. So I think I want to adjust that answer.
That's fine.
Well, no, because it's weird. I'm trying to be careful not to disparage online poker. Do you know what I mean by saying
yes? Yeah, I totally understand.
I mean, between you and I, there is obviously that bit of online poker's become much harder.
Yeah.
Just because people are better than they were 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me start that again then. Well, the demographics for us, luckily are pretty much across the spectrum. We've even had fantastic participation in our women's events, which we brought back last year, including getting over 140 in Taipei. We haven't gone to a seniors event yet, although that's coming this year. To try and better serve your old grizzled veteran demographic, as you mentioned, because there is poker is very fun in the fact that it is universal. It's a mind sport or a skill game, whatever definition you choose to use on it. It means everybody can compete with everyone. Even beyond traditional mind sports like chess or stuff like that. Like if you're a grandmaster and I'm not, yes, I can play with you. I'm never going to win, but I can play a game of chess with you, and lose, comfortably. Yeah. Whereas in this, there will always be a bit of a randomizing factor so when you start dividing a little bit, saying, oh, we're going to let the under 25s play, or we're going to let the women play, or we're going to let the seniors play and stuff. You're almost making the prize pool smaller, but those demographics also have shared experiences and they enjoy, it's why you wouldn't make every tournament a women's event or every tournament a seniors event, but having that one gives people with shared life experiences, shared hobby, a chance to play together and enjoy it in a way that they might not in other circumstances.
Very true. Yeah. Social entertainment. Yeah, definitely. But
well, at the end of the day, but at the end of the day, it is a game. I tell it to people all the time. It's like when people get frustrated or they get this, like, it is a game. It's supposed to be entertainment, and that's what we're trying to get to everyone, is the entertainment factor of it. You're supposed to be going and having fun. And I mean, hopefully you win money. Hopefully you win a trophy. But also, hopefully, you had so much fun that you want to come back and do it again, because it's it's entertainment dollars, and people have a lot of ways that they can spend those.
Yeah, and I mean, there's always that thrill factor of having something on the line while you're participating in something. That's what draws people to sports betting as well, is that you're not only watching the game, you're participating in it by then having skin in the game. It's interesting that you mentioned, that as it is a skill game, definitely, but would you classify poker as a casino game?
I wouldn't. I've been doing this for over 20 years now, And it's such a distinct difference. I think back to when all the legalization efforts were going strong. PokerStars commissioned a survey. Sorry, not a survey. They commissioned a study of I can't remember the exact numbers. This was like 2010, 2011, but it was millions of hands that were studied to see if the actual best hand won. And now that obviously that has different meanings. It could be deuce three could be the best hand pre-flop if 4, 5, 6 is what comes out. Now, is somebody paying 3 raises with deuce three? Not necessarily, but their study said that 78% of the time, the best hand pre-flop didn't win.
Really?
And it's like, that shows you the significant amount of skill involved, or even just the baseline. Like I said, if you raise and the guy to your left re-raises, I'm folding deuce three off. And now, as it turned out, it would have been the winning hand. But now, I suppose you can argue whether there's a skill in me playing deuce three or folding deuce three or what have you. But I found that really eye-opening. That I believe it was 78% of the hands, the best hand didn't win. Okay. And there was another percentage. It was in the 70s as well, of a hand that didn't go to the river, which also means that you and I determined the end of that hand before we got to the end to find out who actually would have won, because we never saw a river card.
Yeah.
And I apologize to Stars or whoever did that survey or study if I got those numbers a little bit off. But the numbers were very high. Like I said, it's 15 years ago. But that to me cemented the idea of, yes, this is a skill game. And I understand there are people who believe that you can get to an edge in blackjack. I have a friend who makes money every time he plays roulette. I don't know how he does it. But casino games, the randomizer is so much harsher there. And so, to me, poker is absolutely a skill game. And I do struggle sometimes for people who view it the other way. I'm like, but it's like but I think that's because I'm so far inside it.
I mean, you do have skin in the game, right? Thank you again for your time, Neil Johnson, the president of the Asian Poker Tour.
Thank you very much, man. I had a really good time. I look forward to doing this again. We will be announcing a new event next week. So the next upcoming event. Watch for that. I'm sure.
And we'll be the first to hear it, right?
Of course, I will make sure that Ben gets the information to you directly.
All right. Perfect. All right. Thank you again, Neil Johnson. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it.